In this video, I'd like to discuss Qigong for senior citizens and 5 tips to improve your practice. Hi, I'm Jeff Chand, acupuncturist, practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine and Qigong instructor. Qigong practice is great for everybody, but it's particularly beneficial for senior citizens and those people who are over the age of 65. Qigong is a combination of nice, gentle movement, deep breathing, and meditation, and a moving meditation that ends up being very good for the body, for the joints, for the muscles, and it won't cause any strain or injury to the body. But here are 5 different things you should pay attention to if you're just beginning your Qigong practice, or if you've begun and you really want to maximize the benefits. Now, the first thing to keep in mind is to listen to your body. We all have our aches, our pains, our injuries, our health conditions, our bumps and bruises that we've accumulated along the way, and we need to listen to our body. So if we're practicing some Qigong and something hurts, something tweaks or goes twinge, then we need to listen to that, stop and adjust and make it comfortable for us. So no matter what stage of life you're in, we always need to listen to our body. The more we will listen to it, the more we can refine our practice and make it work for our own body and our own health history. It's great if you have an instructor or a teacher who can watch exactly everything that you're doing and correct you when you're doing something wrong. But if you're practicing at home, you may not have access to that kind of instruction. You may have to rely on yourself. But we can do this if we pay attention, if we just always notice what's going on and listen to our body. Our body wants to be healthy and it wants to be energetic and feeling good. And it's giving us these signals. So sometimes when we get pain or we get a sensation that just doesn't feel good, that's a signal that we need to listen to. The second tip is to follow the 70% rule. Qigong can be practiced in a way that's very strenuous on the body, on the muscles, on the joints, and it really can build up a good sweat. But it can also be practiced in a very, very gentle way. And if you're just beginning your practice or you're just beginning the process of listening to your body, I would highly encourage you to follow the 70% rule. So that means that you always pay attention to 70% of your maximum range of motion and 70% of your exertion and effort level. So if you're doing some sort of stretch, some sort of motion, even if you feel like you can go a little bit further, you can just stop at 70%. If you're extending and stepping forward, even if you can go further, control your effort and just go to about 70%. And same thing when using some muscles and during some leg exercises. Only restrict yourself to 70% of exertion. This way, it will preserve your qi and your energy will increase over time. It's actually easy to overexert yourself and to really want to work hard. But Qigong is finding flow, is finding harmony within your body and within the space around us. So we have to back off from 100% exertion and find that 70%. The third tip for Qigong practice is to notice small changes within Qigong practice and outside of Qigong practice. So sometimes when people are practicing, they have very dramatic results. They were experiencing a lot of pain and all of a sudden it's gone, or their energy level was really terrible, now it's really great, or they had high stress levels and now they feel like they're at one with the universe. So that's very dramatic. But for most people, they have small, tiny changes that happen over a long period of time. So they'll notice that during the Qigong practice, they notice like, oh yeah, my shoulder used to hurt when I did this action and now it doesn't. Or they feel like they are doing some sort of motion. They felt like, oh, I have no strength, no stability in my core, but now it's a little bit better. So these small changes happen over time, not over 1 or 2 days, but maybe a couple of weeks, few months. And these are very important, especially if you're a senior. It's good to have this positive improvement over time. So what will also happen is you'll notice improvements during your practice, but also after your practice as well. You'll notice when you go and put your shoes on, oh, your feet don't feel so far away. Or you're walking upstairs and you feel a little bit more stability. Or you're in a stressful situation and you just don't feel affected by it as much. So you can look for and value these small changes within your Qigong practice and outside of it. The fourth tip is to really focus on coordination of body and breath during Qigong practice. Qigong without focus on breath is basically just a light exercise. Light exercise is fine. But when we combine these light movements with deep breathing and with positive intention, then it becomes a system that can promote our health currently and also into the future. So incorporating breath into Qigong practice is really important. Deep, natural breathing is so important for our overall health, for our physical body, and for our mind. There's lots of research showing how important nice, good, deep breathing can be. It doesn't have to be overly complicated, it can be nice and simple. But how often do we actually just really breathe? How often do we just take in the energy and the qi of the sun and the sky and just take it into our body? Or stand in the forest and take in the earth energy from our feet? So Qigong practice is a wonderful time to do this, and we can do this every single day. We can practice and just naturally breathe, take in the good, vibrant energy into our body. And ideally, we want to try to coordinate it with our movements. Usually when describing different Qigong exercises, I try to include where you breathe in and where you exhale, and with which movement. Naturally, most people will find a sort of rhythm where you find your breath will naturally follow the movements. And this is a great thing to tune into and really put attention into. If you're following the 70% rule, you're not going to be straining your body. So if you coordinate your body and your breath together, then you get a really, really wonderful effect out of your Qigong practice. If you've followed those 4 tips that we discussed, listening to your body, the 70% rule, noticing small changes within and outside of Qigong practice, and coordinating your body and your breath, then you can find the 5th tip, which is finding flow. This is that feeling of flow and being in the zone during your Qigong practice. This is when you feel light and energized and you feel very present and you just feel like your body's moving itself. The breath is just flowing naturally. This is a wonderful state to be in. Many of us have experienced flow in everyday life. Maybe when you're working or you're writing or you're playing music or you're exercising and you get into this flow state. It's a wonderful, wonderful state to be in because it's very healing for the body, very healing for the brain and for the mind and for the emotions. So we can allow ourselves to get into that flow state and try to even encourage that in every practice. If you're just beginning, you may get just a moment of it during a regular practice, but as you get better, you'll be able to get into that flow state very quickly. So those are 5 really simple tips that you can incorporate into your Qigong practice if you're a senior or if you are not a senior yet. These tips will help with everybody. Qigong practice works best when we keep it nice and simple, focused on the breath, focused on good, healthy movements, and positive intentions. So let me know in the comments section below, did any one of these 5 tips really speak to you? I love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. If you've enjoyed this style of Qigong, please come join the Communi Qi for a wide variety of Qigong routines that's ideal for beginners or if you already have some experience. The Communi Qi has convenient, simple Qigong practices that are safe, gentle, and effective to help you feel healthy and full of vitality. Come join us today. If you haven't already, be sure to sign up for our newsletter in the link below so we can notify you when we release new YouTube videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.